on Facebook and live on Zoom. And I trust that this is going to be awesome, a very powerful meeting tonight. Let me just test the audios if they are working. Bear with me, there'll be a slight echo. Awesome. I trust that this will be awesome. It sounds real good there. So let me just make sure that we are speaking the same language. It's looking good. It's live on Facebook. I just want to get a link on Facebook for comments. And if you are watching us live now, start sharing with friends, share with friends, and we're gonna just make sure that everybody is covered. There we go. It's looking good. Wow, this is awesome. Let me just get the link. Let me just get the link for the website. Excellent. As if you want to come right in the back office on Zoom, the number to dial is 840-753-87265. That's the number to dial, and your passcode is 451493. So get in and get talking. It's a very powerful topic today. And as usual, before we start talking, I'm going to give you some tips on business development and certain techniques that's going to help you and I to move forward. I'm excited. Tell somebody. We'll be starting in a few minutes. Tell somebody about the program. Say Dr. John and Amakaya Wingi is online. This is beautiful business seminars on Fridays. Those who haven't started attending these meetings, I'm telling you, this is free education and free inspiration. And I think you need to buy into this because you are missing out on something very special. It's awesome. Times are exciting. So tell me that you have signed somebody in, shared this while I'm doing my own sharing. Perfect. It's looking good. I like it. Let's move on. We are about to fly. And this plane, when it starts flying, is really going to be fast. I'm telling you, you want to get in right now. You want to get in right now. This is the time. Okay. We are live there on Facebook. And I can see, hello, Oliver. Thank you for your first like. Let me challenge you as well. Put another tick like. Okay, let me type in the details for you to come in again. 840, that's Zoom, 75 38 72 65. And the passcode is simply 45 14 93. You've got to have good intentions to attend our programs. You see, these are very positive programs. We get results. That's a Zoom ID. Perfect. I'm excited. 840-7538-7265. Enter. That's a Zoom for those who want to enter Zoom. And today is a wonderful day because we're going to be looking at a very exciting topic. And this topic is a very important one. Yesterday, I had a chance to meet HH7 in London, meeting Zambians and friends of Zambia. And it's on the theme that we are doing in this program, the role of entrepreneurs in developing the economies of Africa. What is your role as an entrepreneur? And this links in very well with today's discussion. But before I go any further, the question is, why do we do what we do? Number one is to motivate people in all walks of lives, in entrepreneurship, so that they can find an anchor and make progress in their business world. Very important. That's why we do what we do for this program. It's a motivational platform, and we also use this platform to tell you about the available products and services in our community. Amakaya Wing is formed on 4 pillars: promotion, education, innovation, and linking, not in any particular order of importance. We believe that for you to move forward, you have to have some education of some form, know a lot more about your sector. In order for you to move forward, you need to be linked to resources, to potential stakeholders, to potential partners, to financiers and policymakers, and more. And in order for you to make forward, we need to have innovative ideas, innovative ways of doing things. So these are propagated on our platform. And for you to make headway, you need to be promoted. Promotion is essential. You can do much, but if nobody knows about you, knows about your product, knows about what you do, it can't go anywhere, any good at all. So all these pillars must be interlinked. The good news is that for the past 15 years, we've been making steady progress. We are a 250-year program in the formation of the foundation. After the 250th year, we begin the bigger and bigger stuff to filter the whole world. There's not a place in the world that you would never hear about Amakaya Wingi and the principles that we propagate. So we are just starting. We've only done 15 years, remaining with 235 years. You've got a great opportunity to transform the generations of your family lines. I like what His Excellency said yesterday in the meeting in London. Let us stop celebrating poverty. We cannot share poverty. And I like that. And on that note, today's theme continues. And for us to be able to move forward, we began a system the other week. We must begin to love things from our own countries. If you come from Zambia, love your Zambianness. If you come from Tanzania, love your Tanzanianness. If you come from Nigeria, love your Nigerianness. Let's appreciate what we have, which is why we say, come dressed up in your national regalia. I've got my nice scarf and I've got my nice tunic. Stuff that talks about you as an African. Do you eat your own African food in England, in the UK, Scotland, America? Do you know where African foods are? Do you buy from fellow African shops? I've got a new shop, college shop. I haven't seen many of you come there. Thank God for those who are coming there, but we haven't done a lot of marketing. I want lots of people to be coming to our shop. We sell education. Education, that's what we sell, plus other things. There's clothes in there, there's books in there. The purpose for this is to develop our own economies, begins with a change of mindset. To realize that we Africans have got ability to buy and sell, to create and innovate and develop new concepts that enhance our productivity. As long as we feel that it's somebody else who's going to help us to do this one, we'll always be going around the circles. Are you happy to hear that? Fantastic. Let me just say a few things as I progress with this program. Few things of importance are as follows. I want people on Facebook to be attentive, and I want people on Zoom to be attentive, because these concepts will help you throughout your business development. We began talking about integrity and all the things that we covered. I want you to go back to the previous recordings. Those on YouTube, you must share the links. Those on Facebook, share the links, and also recap. Look at the previous links. You see what we've been talking about. Today, this morning, I spoke to one gentleman in a shop, and I said, do you know the power of 2 minutes? In business and negotiations, you must master the power of 2 minutes. It's an idea that I probably am developing. It's been there, people use it, but sometimes people don't use it. When you are at a meeting with somebody, or you are scheduling some discussions, which will take a certain length of time, and you happen to go in that meeting, now logistics change. You are only accorded to speak for 15 minutes, but you had prepared a speech of 1 hour because your talks will be that time. But because of circumstances, things change. Do you know the power of 2 minutes? Can you say, no, don't worry, let's still have a meeting only for 15 minutes? As a businessman, as a businesswoman, you got to know the power of 2 minutes. Let me recite a little story that happened to me when I came to the United Kingdom. I come from Zambia, that's my home country. In Zambia, I used to make presentations as a scientist for 1 hour. People loved my research, and each time I presented stuff, people loved it. It had so much insight. 1 hour. It's a long time, you know. If you want to see that 1 hour is a long time, think it in terms of football. Amen scores can be scored in 90 minutes. That's 1 hour, 30 minutes, right? If you think in terms of that, you realize how long 1 hour is. Now, in that 1 hour, if you have been asked to present, your question is, what is the expected outcome of my presentation? What am I required to achieve? And what will be the benefit of the listeners? Very important strategies I'm giving to you, the audience, and to those who follow. This is free education. It is a body of knowledge called negotiations. Good to see you, Moses. Excellent to see you. It's a body of negotiations, and many people do not have this training. Negotiation is a training on itself. People go through this discipline for some years to learn negotiation. And one thing which I even think, I say, sometimes Africa is so disadvantaged because some people you meet in the Western world, they have studied negotiations. By the time you are coming to enter into a negotiating table, you have lost already 45% of your standpoint because you are not coming from a background, or you do not have a person in the team who has studied negotiation as a degree or as a diploma. You understand that? In negotiations, you are taught to map out intentionally, not by accident or by intuition, or if God that drops some words of knowledge and wisdom, but there's a difference between somebody who has been intentionally trained to do that. That's all they drink and drink and drink, and they know how to map out a strategy. You are starting to negotiate here. They know when you come here, they come out there because they're planned. But you have just gone with your own idea and the creativity. Now, what if they say, oh, there's no meeting. We want to postpone the meeting. We only got about 15 minutes remaining for us to do what we do. Can you waste your energy to have traveled, or can you waste your time to have had prepared to meet the people in this category? The answer is no, you shouldn't. You can request for that 15 minutes. Okay, can I just have the actual remaining 15 minutes? And I'll explain. In negotiations, there's what we call alternatives. What was your original plan and the alternative? You always have to have those. Some people normally call them plan B. But have you really studied it? Have you really planned it? So when you are developing something, when you are discussing something, when you're on a journey, you must always have what is the alternative. And we call it the best alternative to the negotiated route. What is the best alternative? And that best alternative must be as close as possible to the original. Here's an example. If I want, let me see, what's the best example I can give? If I want this area for me to develop into a certain system that will provide maybe, I don't want to pull something out of the bag of things that I'm doing. Man, I don't want to release my secrets in the public. So what you do, let me backtrack. So you simply say, okay, if I do not get this A, what would be the best result for me to get as alternative to A? You plan it in advance. So if that 1 hour wasn't given to you to discuss and do things, but you don't want to go home empty-handed. So you say, if this happened, you are planning this intentionally. It's not for you to go there by accident. You don't have alternatives. No, you must have alternatives before the negotiations, before the meeting. Always have alternatives. That's a tip in the realm of negotiations. The past, things we talked about are gone. I want you to refer those ones and learn from them. So we are beginning a series of getting the best out of every meeting, getting the best out of every deal. What is your alternative? The best alternative to the original negotiated deal or negotiated option. Let's end here. Next week, remember where it ended. And I'll move this to the next level. How do you crack that best alternative? When you are intentional in your discussion, in your plans, in your pursuit to move your business forward. This is the role of African entrepreneurship in developing the economies of Africa. Now, a very good background. Yesterday, I went to London and I was amongst the many Zambians and friends, and we met HH7, His Excellency President Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, a very intelligent man indeed. Very articulate. His vision is very clear. I like the way he thinks. And one thing he said was, this is serious and this is important. I'm being polite. He said, let us stop celebrating poverty. I like that. Let us stop celebrating poverty. We cannot share poverty. Let us change this mindset. And I like also what he said. He said, emulate, link with some Nigerians. I say, wow. And in my book, Every Zambian is a Millionaire, I did mention Nigerians in there. I like them for their forcefulness, for their determination. That is unparalleled. And he also said, link with some Britons who have a soft spot for Zambia because of your historical link, and they want to invest in Zambia. Link with these ones. And he says, you are the investors, meaning us, Zambians and Africans. This is very, very good for a president to be saying things like this, which means he's looking at the African entrepreneurs to be the primary investors in our economies. And then we link with those who have interest to invest in our nations. And he also mentioned, he says, you can't believe how many presidents or how many countries I asked him to talk about how did he do what he did to be able to have this victory. And this is a strength which we need to develop in our businesses. Most times when we're developing businesses, as leaders, we do not imbibe into our employees to own the business. When they are on that desk serving as workers, they must feel that they own this business. It is theirs. They must protect the interest of the business. I use this as an example because he said, this time, they had to make sure that the people protected the vote. So as business people, I want us to look at the anchors now. The environment of Zambia emphasized yesterday. I wanted to chew on this. And I'm inviting all Africans, entrepreneurs who are looking for investment to come on the bandwagon to invest in Zambia. One thing we must be doing as Africans, when one nation succeeds in one aspect, no matter how little it could be, it is, let us go like in Bashi. Like what do you call these things in English?
Radiant.
Whatever it is, those little creatures, the ants, they come in numbers, you know. Before you know it, there's an anthill. They've just made a little hill. Only little things because they are many in numbers, which is the principle of Amakaya Wing. When you hear good things have happened in the country Zambia, and the president is selling is a chief salesman, he said, I want all Africans, well-meaning Africans who have the power to invest to come and approach us. Say, Dr. John and your team, how do we enter into Zambia to invest in Zambia? Because the president, His Excellency, did mention that. Look at the Nigerians, look at the Zambia, the Britons, the characteristics we have to copy in this category is number one. For me, from the Nigerians, I copy determination. I've worked with my brothers and sisters from Nigeria. They are determined. Even when he doesn't know, he's determined. The determination itself begins to bring knowledge. I like that. Or today's bonfire day, there's too many fireworks outside there. You see, that is good. What about the Britons? Oh, they are very good timekeepers, very deliberate. They keep pushing little bit by little, and they also have access to resources. Then the third thing also mentioned, you people, you have access to very low interest rate finance in this country. If you cannot tap into the financial resources of these countries, if you're not in the UK, you're in America, even there the interest rates are low. In Australia, they are quite low as compared to the African countries. So he says, these things are at your disposal. This is going to be the formation of the foundation. It's going to be the foundation of our discussion today. Just decoding what His Excellency said and mapping out an action strategy. For me, I had only one thing in mind in that meeting, and I think it was achieved. And for other people, I want to hear, as you make comments as well, how you found the program. Even those who listened on Facebook Live and on television live in Zambia or anywhere you were watching, you are still in the conference. To be in the conference doesn't mean you just have to be physically there. No, you heard the message. What are you going to do? Now, let me open up the discussions with my colleagues in the back office. I've got Grace Isitulo, investor, and I've got Matthew Zimba Mutonga, investor in Manchester and London. So let's begin with Grace. You were in the meeting yesterday, and I want to just give a very quick overview how you found the meeting. And I recorded you asking a question. I'll send the recording to you. Me, I didn't have anybody recording for me because I think you sat very far away because of the crowds that turned up. Yes, Grace, I've laid the foundation. Coming now. Then we're going to have Matthew there. I saw that you followed the program a lot. Yes, we're opening up, investing in Zambia, working with other people in Africa and the UK. And HH7 opening up the foundation, very good policy. I like his strategy. He's a good businessman. That's my take. Grace is still on.
Thank you, Doctor. Good evening, viewers. Yesterday it was a wonderful time, good opportunity to meet HH7. And what I got from the meeting, as he went through his meeting, the first thing he spoke about was taking the nation from one point to another, as they were promising in the campaign, of which, okay, they have achieved winning the elections. And the other thing is putting down the rule of law. And the third thing is delivering now to the people, which was confirmed last week when the budget came out. I listened to the budget, the whole speech of the budget by the Minister of Finance, which was good. The intention is to empower the people of Zambia from the lowest level. Anybody who is able, anybody with a vision, your vision is scattered. Whether you are in the diaspora or whether you are in the inland, as long as you have a vision to develop the nation, to go forward. You won't be discriminated. You just have to bring it forth to the lowest level, at the constituency level, and then you tap in. And I liked the fact when he said women and the youth will be given priority, especially when it comes to contracts and other things. As a woman, they were always being sidelines, but this time we will be given a priority. And the other thing I liked when he said they'll be looking at the merit, quality of service to be delivered, and time to be delivered. For me, I picked on those, and I think I'm ready for that. And then the other thing I really liked is that we should not share poverty. We should not celebrate poverty at all costs. So let us stop sympathizing with each other on issues. Let us encourage one another to move from one step ahead, and let us use the resources available to develop ourselves and our country. As he said, now education is free in Zambia. So the money we used to channel to support our siblings on education, can we channel it into resourceful things to do, so that we'll be able also to build up ourselves and our communities? Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you so much, dear. Mr. Mutonga.
Hello, good evening, viewers. Good evening, everyone in the panel. I listened to the speech. As usual, he's literally, like you say, he says he's a salesman. So a salesman speaks, repeats his message now, so that people can understand. So basically, he's reiterating everything that he has planned, that he promised, and is now starting to fulfill that. And I like that he's opening up to the diaspora, that the diaspora, you need to have, if you have an idea, is open for us to come and, to go and help in whatever way, so, and be able to invest. So I think it's time, especially on the minings and all that. He says, he's even spoke this morning. I don't know, did you listen to this morning?
Just carry on.
This morning he was telling specifically, he said, like he likes to say, the first investor is a Zambian. The Zambian, and then our neighboring country, in the African continent. Then we cross the sea and, come over to, and he told them that there will be no investors that are coming outside to come and invest in Zambia on an individual. They need to connect with the local, the indigenous people, so that they can also benefit. So that is one very important thing, because most of the people that were in the Chatham House this morning were like those that, are mostly foreigners who are not in Africa, outside Africa. And that was very, very important to emphasize on that they need to connect with the Zambians so that they can get investment in Zambia. So he was encouraging Zambians to make network, connect, networking, and get these investors that who wants to come to Zambia, be able to connect with you and be able to, so that you benefit the Zambians, and even the investor himself will be able to benefit by, negotiating, like he says, consultative negotiations over what what is required, how no unfair, judgment where say the investor loses or the Zambian loses. We need to be fair to each other. After we negotiate, we need to come out of their win-win situation. So I like that message that he told the people, even the foreigners, mostly were foreigners and, some Zambians in there. And he encouraged Zambians to come in and let us come in, and begin to, to communicate, network with the government and the Zambians, local Zambians who have failed maybe some investment, which they have some potential, but the finances have not been found. So we need to go in there and, help out and get them, invest in them and get, the nation again and get them all financed, and just to develop the people, to have the power to empower the people with finance, like he has started with the 25.7 million of constituents money. That is very powerful, because that will be enable, at least if there's proper management and the implementation of that money, they will be able to have at least the lowest, everybody in the constituency be developed, the areas, the schools, and all those should be developed. And therefore, the second year, I bet now you can literally be able to empower, more businesses and more investment within the constituency. So that will be really, it's a powerful, principle of empowering the people, and looking forward to that. I hope the youth and the ladies, the women especially, that's Sister Grace here, you can take advantage of that. It seems like there's more women needed in the parliament also, remember? Yeah. So you better go to Zimba and get your...
Okay, let's hear from David.
So that's that. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
I wasn't in UK, but I managed to follow what was posted on the book. And what stood out for me was when he talked about people who were in the opposition, not to look at him or look at this government as an opposition or something, but to come, he invited them to work together in the government. And for me, first and foremost, it shows the sign of a democratic nation, what really democracy is like. And the other thing is, he is so eager to develop the nation. He's not looking at someone's political affiliation and all that, but he's so eager to sort of deliver. And with him, the time, he doesn't have 5 years, time to deliver is now. And he wants everyone on board. If you are PF, you are UPNJ, you are PPF, you come on board. If you have the brains to move the nation forward, come on board. And the other thing that stood out to me was there was someone who asked him about Kadarism, how he intends on dealing with Kadars, because that is sort of coming, it's a phone now. Apparently, people are impatient, and what we saw in PF, it's popping up even in the UPND government, where UPND cadres want to take over markets, they want to take over that. But even at that, the president is so adamant, is still standing on his word to say, no cadres, Zambia belongs to all Zambians. If it's a market, every Zambian should be in the market trading. It shouldn't be one party or certain people, certain individuals collecting money from people. Let the council do their job. And you realize that the money that the cadres used to get from the people in the PF government used to be a lot of money countrywide. If that money is gotten by the council, and then they are using that to develop even the roads locally, do these small projects, and to also add on to the money that they are being given by the government through CDF, I think Zambia can develop. And it's from that we did not have like we did not see would be in town, then you have bad roads, but you are asking where is council? Council is there, but they don't have resources. Now with this decentralization of funds, council being on top of their game to sort of receive that huge chunk of money, I think we are going to see a different Zambia in the next 5 years, because council may have the equipment, yes, but they may not have the capacity to maybe for fuel and other things to do other projects. But if they have that money and they are able to run on their own without someone saying, hey, what are you doing here? This money should go this side, even if I've given you, but I'm in charge. There's a way a man can give a woman money, and then it's just like you're keeping it for him. Is how much have you spent? After 1 hour, how much have you used? But this is not the government you are looking at. It's where everyone, if you have what to do, you do your work. And of course, there's going to be accountability. And of course, there's going to be a challenge, because it's the same people who are in council, who are in the PF government. We are transitioning, but I feel we are going to deliver, and the president is equal to the task. Thank you. I think those two stood out for me.
Thank you very much, panel. Your comments are very, very, very good and to the point, based on what you took out of the meeting. Now let's begin to break down into pieces. You see on this platform, as we always say, built on 4 pillars: education, promotion, linking, and innovation. All these pillars are essential and they operate at the same time, because a house is built on 4 powerful pillars. The foundation cornerstones must be there. Now, for us to move forward and actualize this, the one question that we asked, I think, just a week after elections, when the president did his speech and afterwards, was, what are you going to do? It's a very personal question and a public question as well. What I want our minds to be like, and to add in this beautiful thought for all Africans, is the one that he said, let us stop celebrating poverty. And I can add on to that one, don't let poverty make you look as if you are humble. You understand this one, yeah?
Yeah.
You go in a negotiation house, you go very humble looking like this. When they look at me looking sorry for myself, I'm a humble man or woman, then they'll give me, no. I'll tell you a story in 2 minutes, maybe under 2 minutes. I was in Zambia, I took some investors over there, and we all had our money in our pockets to do things, but nobody saw me with any money in my pockets. One of them offered me to lend me the money, a lot of it. I refused. Then they were shouted, hey, this doctor. I refused, no. But every place we went, I volunteered, I'm gonna pay that, I'm gonna pay for that. But it was surprised, this guy, they wanted me to see me with a bag of money, but I didn't do that. They had bags of money. Because they flew in the country, they changed their money and put in cash. But what they forgot was, I'm Zambian, I have resources kept in the country. I don't need to draw and put money in my hands and all that stuff. But it worried them. They say, this guy, we are not seeing money in his pockets. Wherever we go, he might be asking us to pay. But I presented myself as somebody who is solid and have everything I needed. I had money, very big money, I had money. I refused to be given, which many people would have said, hey, give it to me. I refused, and they were shocked. I said, no, I don't want your money. No, I said, no, I'm okay. I spent my own money, my own budget. The only reason I didn't put money, I didn't withdraw money and put it in my pocket so they can see it. Because I'm Zambian, I've got friends and relatives If I've got cash in my pockets, I will misuse it. Even people didn't ask for me, my heart can be so soft because cash is in my pocket. Ah, I haven't seen it for a long time. Oh, have this for a drink. Have this for this. By the time I'm arriving so rest from Livingston, my pocket is Now they didn't understand that cultural background, you know. Yeah, I'm laughing. My eyes are tearing because of it. You understand that? So, but now, what if I had a poverty mentality? I would have said, hey, here's a chance. They're going to give me cash, these guys. I refused. That is the mindset. I can only accept money on merit. If I provide a service to them, they pay for it, I take it. Now, having listened to what we've listened to, and this is going to be filtered in the whole Africa. That time we asked the question, what are you going to do? Now, I'm sure now many of you have amplified your position of what you're going to do. I'll start with myself. We have already started talking. We began talking on the revolution into the educational curriculum. I've invited my colleague right here on the platform, Mr. Mtonga. I spoke to him. I'll be doing a deal with him because I like his brain. For the Commonwealth John University and the Westminster Open College, the syllabus will be reviewed, the entrepreneurship syllabus will be reviewed. I want his input. If he refuses my deal, I'll go to another person. But we have started action. Secondly,
we are a team.
Indeed, yeah, you can confirm that. On the other aspects of the interest I expressed, this is now my other things that I do. I can tell you straight away yesterday when His Excellency said, get the contact, I approached the minister. I've done that already. I was there. And today we've been speaking right with many stakeholders. That action is there because I really want to do that investment, those investments. So I'm proactive. So anybody who's listening out there, be proactive. You see, business, entrepreneurship, development, it's not secret. No, let me first hide this idea. The more you hide the idea, the more it doesn't work. No, I'm hiding in case they steal it. Who's going to steal? Ideas are hard to steal. They are very difficult. They can't capture the soul of your idea. So the more you talk about it, the more people own it for you and they want to support you. So I want us to look at those aspects. The HH talks about women and the youth. And he also talked about collaborating with people on the ground, networks, which now puts those people on the ground, David, at an advantage because you have become the eyes of investors. So let's talk about that one. What aspects of repositioning or amplifying on your own vision would you do now? Now that there's now the budget is out, there's also endorsement of the fact that these things must be done by the input of the diaspora, which is those who live abroad, and the local Zambians. Now let's talk on these aspects. We want when people listen to this to start texting us. I want to partner with you. Like I got lots of texts yesterday. It was amazing. It's beautiful. When you study in presence of a king, you also have some anointing of a king. So I got lots of offers to deal with lots of people. Yeah. So I want people to understand this. It's not just a talk. In America, we don't just talk. We are action people. Action and action. If you don't act, you can't move. No. If you are not moving, you're not acting. Mm-hmm. If you are acting and not moving, you are pretending, you are dreaming. So let's bring this into a reality. Who wants to go first? The question is, what is your own personal repositioning? You may not need to give full details, but let's talk about your repositioning vis-a-vis what you heard and what stood strong in the presentations, including the one at Chatham House. The floor is open. Who wants to go first? I'll call out Grace.
Mm-hmm. With me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, ladies first.
Ladies first. Yeah. The president talked about ladies. So now.
Yeah. Don't complain that we let you. We did.
Yeah. Thank you very much for giving me the floor. As for me, I'm into construction. So I want to take the construction a bit further, especially in women, because there are no female, because there are no female into construction. So I'm encouraging the women there to come forth, those who want to work together with me. At the moment, I'm just doing my paperwork on the ground so that come next year, come January, I'm ready to supply whatever I supply, whoever wants to be supplied with. And today I got a phone call from one of the youth in Zambia who wants to partner with me. He's a civil engineer, so he wants to be doing short courses to the youth, those who want to go into construction. So he said, how can we work together? So we started a discussion on how we are going to work together. I gave him some insights, and then next week he'll be doing some paperwork. Excellent. And then we'll work out packages. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. I also would like you to get in touch with Miss Faith Lukomona. She's now a graduate master's in project management for construction. If you have a chat with her, you know, these young people, they are making money. She's working. She's a manager in a company where she's working now. Probably should be able to gain more from your mentorship. I'd like to say that to you. And other people who've got your children, they're not too young to get involved, believe me. Link them. And I just want to make a bit of clarification, Grace. When you say construction, what are you producing? What are you making?
I just do building products, like building blocks, paving slabs, roofing towels, floor towels, decorative cabs, highway cabs, and many.
So people can buy these products from you?
Yes.
Right, okay, fantastic. And the plant is in Zambia?
Yes.
Excellent. So you see, our platform is a platform of reality. These things we dreamed in the night. The book that made Amaka Yabu is 14-page book. It was a dream. The dream was a couple. They were very educated, but very poor financially. PhD holders, no money. You remember Mr. Mtonga, the Facebook, yeah?
Yes.
That's what made people started calling. That was 2005. Their names were called Mr. and Mrs. Manonzeru. But they are so broke. David, this couple, they are the ones that made us form Amaka Wing. Mr. and Mrs. Manonzeru, very, very educated, but no money. Hey, next person. Who wants to go first? David?
Mr. Mtonga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Mtonga.
Okay, I'll go. Well, thank you so much, Sister Grace. I think I'm like
Can I go?
The president has said. I was looking, I mean, the constituencies are projects, minor projects. So my idea, I mean, I'm looking at, I don't know, we'll talk, this could be a team, I mean, looking at major projects, because I just feel angry when I see a project that has been done by foreigners, and then within the year, the project is, you know, like, for example, the roadworks. I'm so passionate to see that you can make a road that would stay for at least 5 years without having a pothole. Those are things which is very simple. I'm just wondering why, especially civil engineers, why haven't we got consultants? I don't think the guys in road development, they did any supervision, any, you know, inspection of the projects that they did offer the people. So I'm looking into this and say, okay, it's very easy. All I need is to get the equipment into Zambia and go and tender for a road construction, so that we can show Zambians how a road is supposed to be constructed. Our roads are just one layer. This is roads. They put the red soil on top and start feeling like the roads here, they have 5 layers. You know, you can't have a road which has got one layer and it's called a motorway, you know, going from Livingstone to Copperbelt to Munirunga. Let's put it that way. The roads are basically one layer. That's why you find potholes just come up. But if we made the way the roads are supposed to be constructed, those, you know, the road system network will be very good and will last longer, and the government won't waste money on these, you know, dodgy constructors or dodgy so-called investors. But I would like to see the president in that. When I get to go to the chance in Zambia, I would like to lay that one down, to use the local, like you just said, local civil engineers. That's where they can get the jobs. That's where they can get the training. So that to me is like, you know, let them graduate and come and put their knowledge into practice, and let's see what they can do. And, you know, give them the idea, design the plan. And so those are things which I feel literally they make me, you know, feel really angry over what, like we saw the rain season, which has just come up. Have you noticed we had that disaster? Is it at Munari, you know, billboard? Yeah. Which fell on cars. And then you have the floods. Last year we had the floods. Now this year again the floods. What the hell? What is happening? Is there no engineers who can look at the floods coming and
what I wanted to get from Mr. Mtonga is now, what is it you're proposing? You want to set up a company for quality development, or a company that can be constructed? Which one is which?
Those are the 2 issues that I'm looking at. Like my sister says, the quality, you know, inspection, and literally the actual construction company using the local people, so that we can get this sorted out, and who are not interested in swindling the government, who are interested in developing the country.
Let's not go to that area. I want what you are going to do. So summary. Yes. You want to set up a company?
I'll set up a company, which I've already done. I did last time I was in Zambia.
Let me summarize for you. I'm the moderator. I want people to get the message very clear, so that people
set up the company.
Okay.
For quality inspection, like my sister said.
Okay.
Consultants, that's a consultants, basically. Set up a construction company, which I already laid, and I've already filled in all the documents and all that. I left it.
Don't tell us. I just want what is it? So quality control within the same company and construction.
Yes.
So this company you are going to set up would also tender for constructing roads. So your own people do the roads under your supervision, so they can use the proper system at these 4 layers. If it's a road, whatever you can do. Okay, very good. So it's quality, control, and also construction. Very good. What name is the company? Have you thought of a name?
Oh yeah, there is Inclusive management, asset management.
Okay,
and then the Inclusive construction.
Okay, good. Quasi asset management and quasi construction. Watch this space, people there. If anybody wants to collaborate, link with Mr. Mtonga on those aspects. Now let us go to the man on the ground in Zambia. So what's your vision?
Like I liked it when the president said let the people who are on the ground to like sort of work with people who are in the diaspora and other investors that want to come on board and invest in Zambia. Much of it because a lot of people
Your
on the
vision,
ground.
that's what he said. That's what the president
Yes.
said. I want your vision now.
Okay. My vision is to, I've seen we import a lot, we import pork, we import beef, we import chicken. So my vision is to go into livestock, like full-time livestock farming, and so as to and be able to meet the demand on the market. Like I would love to be able to be supplying to ShopRite, Pick and Pay, and these big butcheries in the country.
Very good.
Yes.
So livestock is broad. Do you want to go for goats, piggery, cows, or mbelele?
I want to go into piggery, rabbit farming, and and most of the beds. So but the main thing is piggery and rabbit farming and most of the things like ducks, these beds which are easy to keep and which multiply very easily again.
Very good. Very good.
But rabbit farming and piggery, these are the main things.
Very good. Very good. So our time is running fast. We've got only 2 minutes remaining. So I will, let us, beautiful things go quick. And I can tell you, this business program has become very popular. Hi, Lillian, Miranda, other names have just gone up. I can't see them now. I saw Miss Muetwa there, and I saw others. I can see Kaoma there on Facebook. Hi, great stuff. Keep following, but keep those people who follow us. Don't just follow and tick like and those hearts. They won't take us nowhere. Sorry. I want us, when you press like, you also put your phone number. Say, I'm interested. How can I become a partner?
Yeah.
Viewers, please, Amakaya Wing, people do well. Because we push you. We don't want you to attend meetings all the time. We chase you from the meeting and you've been attending for many weeks. What are you doing now? We want action. I tell you, these things work. When you attend these meetings, find what we call action points. Where can I bite my teeth? Just Ukulumba, you're the one clapping all the time. Hey, that one's playing good. It's not good enough. Believe me, it's not good enough. This mistake, we must not make it again. When something good comes on the platform, bite teeth in it. And this is mine. Okay? So when you are watching us on Facebook and Zoom, you must type your number. I'm interested in that one. How do I get in it? Even if you don't have money in your pocket or your bank, money doesn't mean nothing. What works is the idea. I'm going to summarize my own bit next week because time is running faster, but let me just put in this something very quickly. Do you know why God liked Solomon's request from him? And that request, many people don't realize it was not in real life. You go read the Bible. It was a dream. This Solomon was talking in the dream to God. You see, I'm also a minister of the gospel. I understand this one. 1 Kings 3 verse 5, the Bible says, at Gibeon is a place. In the dream at night, because there are also dreams in the day. After you eat the big ishima or big fufu, you start dreaming daytime. You are supposed to go back to work. You start dreaming, then you go late. But God made it clear in the Bible, in the dream at night. So which means Solomon was justified to sleep. Then in the dream, God asked him, what do you want me to do for you? If you read the whole chapter, Solomon says, I'm a little boy. I don't know how to go in. I don't know how to come out. You have given me a power to rule over these people. There are so many. I don't know what to do. But give me this one. Power to know between the wrong and the right. In other words, how to discern the wrong and the right is insight. So ask for insight in this thing they are talking. on this Amakawing thing. Where can I bite my teeth and actualize my vision, which I have in my head? Tomorrow morning, you'll be flying. But if you keep on typing it, I like Dr. the way you wear that tie, that Zambian thing, I like it. I want us to move forward together. Signing off, time is gone. Apologies, people in the back panel. Don't go Zoom. We're going to be having a cup of tea. Those on Facebook, please type in your phone number, contact us. Let's get together. Those people on the ground in Africa, let's link up together with people in the diaspora and let's make this big. Our time is now. Signing off, Vice President with you. Those on Zoom, don't go. Those on Facebook,